All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people, just like you and just like me. So, in one of the most strange and probably unpredictable moments of this year thus far, the band ABBA has returned, and they have new songs out there. It's actually a little bit surreal after about 40 years of not really being a band. Obviously, the members went their separate ways, embarked upon solo careers or did solo projects to some extent. But if you're a fan of this style of music, and I know some of you may not be, you didn't really have anything else similar. ABBA is their own thing. They are unlike any group, any band in the history of music. They created harmonies and they created a sound that only others kind of touched on here or there. When I think of ABBA, I think of the sweetest candy bar you can possibly consume. It is a guilty pleasure. For some, it's just a pleasure. I mean, if you're going to measure bands by how much melodic quotient they have, I'll call it MQ, you need to put ABBA at the top, and then you'll find even below that, you'll find groups like the Beatles, believe it or not, and the Beach Boys. That's how high I regard this band as far as their ability to make music that is more melodic, more catchy, more singable. I don't know of anybody else who is better at it, but they've been away for 40 years. The two new songs that are out right now from an album that comes out on November 4th, the two songs are I Still Have Faith in You and another track called Don't Shut Me Down. I think I prefer Don't Shut Me Down over I Still Have Faith in You, although the message in that first song, I Still Have Faith in You, is pretty poignant and pretty timely for what's happening in the world right now. And these guys are actually going to do something unprecedented from what I understand. They're going to be embarking on a digital tour featuring avatars of themselves along with a 10-piece band. And they'll be kicking off this tour, quote unquote, on May 27th of next year. Of course, we'll see if the concert industry is still willing to take risks and go out there and actually have people show up for events. The band won't be there in person. They'll be there via avatar. So kind of a weird way of doing this, but I understand. Physically speaking, these guys are all, and gals are all in their 70s. And, you know, have they aged well, musically speaking? Yeah. It makes me kind of lament, though, the fact that they've been away for 40 years. And we probably could have had them throughout the 80s if there weren't so many disagreements within the group. All of the I mean, they're kind of like the Fleetwood Mac of Sweden to some degree. So it's just one of those things. They just couldn't keep it together. Again, I'm a fan. I'm not saying it's my favorite band of all time or anything, but I'm definitely a fan because I don't think anyone else has ever achieved what they achieved musically. Just nobody else had that sound. In fact, all of their melodic mojo kind of rubbed off on their country. So if a band comes out of Sweden, you can guarantee that they have listened to ABBA and they have been influenced by ABBA. And there are a lot of hard rock bands today, or just garden variety bands that came up through the 80s and maybe even early 90s, who recognize that, you know, songwriting isn't easy. And these guys just do it with ease. There are two new tracks. Most bands will never write songs of that caliber, even if you're not, you know, as enthusiastic about this music as you were. their music from the late 70s, you still have to tip your hat to a band 40 years later that can still create music at this level. So, never expected to hear from ABBA ever again, but they're back, and they will be putting out their entire album in November and then doing their Avatar tour, which is bizarre, starting in May, starting in London, and we'll see if that actually kicks off and goes out into the world from there. But pretty big news for those music historians who may have forgotten about ABBA. They're still on the radio here in the States every single day, getting a ton of radio airplay because number one, they're good. And number two, they represent a time when things were so much better on planet Earth. So there you have it. All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all soon.